What's going on, guys? G Banerjee back here, and in this video I'm going to tell you why majority of people are not successful. So if you're unhappy with where you're at in life or something's not going your way and you're wondering why you're unsuccessful, I'm going to drop you guys some wisdom bombs. I know I normally drop a ton of value bombs, but for the first time actually on my YouTube, I know it's always usually about drop shipping and how to build brands and how to build products, and I don't do too many videos on mindset. But mindset is the most important thing of all. If your mindset is lacking, then everything else you do after will also be lacking. So I want to really talk to you guys about the mindset that's required to be successful and why you and most people out there who are not unsuccessful are unsuccessful, okay? So if you're successful, you've been there, you've done that, then you're gonna really relate to this video. And for those of you who are unsuccessful, if you're not happy with where you're at, I'm gonna try to open your eyes, okay? I really want you to feel something from this. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use an example of a very, very wealthy man. I think he's worth close to about, has a net worth roughly around $23 billion. That is billion with a B, capital B, okay? Put some respect on this man's name. His name is Jack Ma. He is the founder of Alibaba, Aliexpress, and as you guys know, those are massive, massive companies that are generating ridiculous amounts of revenue. So his individual net worth is $23 billion. But let me tell you what Jack Ma had to say. And for those of you guys, after I say this, you guys are going to get all defensive and be like, oh no, there's no way a billionaire said that, blah, blah, blah. After you watch my video, go look it up, okay? I highly, highly recommend you to look it up, find the video or the text where he says it, the quote, whatever it is. But it's going to be super, super important, okay? Because if you lack this basic concept that you need to have in order to be successful, nothing else is going to come together. And that basic concept is a strong mindset, okay? Before you can go out there and win, you got to win in your head. And if your mindset is broke, then everything else you do is going to cause you to also be broke. So if you're not happy with where you're at, you're not achieving financial freedom, you're unsuccessful, you're frustrated, you're not getting where you want to be in life, I'm going to tell you guys exactly why. It's because your mindset is wrong. If your mindset is off, nothing else will come to fruition. When I put my mindset together when I was 17 years old, I started reading all these books and understanding these high-level concepts and connecting all those things in my head. Boom! I started becoming successful. I started leveling up, right? I started selling businesses. I started getting clients. I started speaking at TEDx. I started doing all this amazing stuff. So without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about the $23 billion man and what he had to say. His name is Jack Ma, founder of AliExpress and Alibaba, for those of you guys who don't know him. He's a visionary. He's got a ton of wisdom. And I'm going to be looking away from the camera for just a couple seconds while I read this because it is on my laptop, but the value is going to be amazing, so don't forget it, okay? I'm going to read it nice and slow. So Jack Ma said this: "The worst people to serve are the poor people. Give them free, they think it's a trap. Tell them it's a small investment, they'll say they can't earn much. Tell them to come in big and they'll say no money. Tell them to try new things and they'll say no experience. Tell them it's a traditional business, they'll say it's hard to do. Tell them it's a new business model, they'll say it's MLM. Tell them to run a shop, they'll say no freedom. Tell them run a new business and they'll say no expertise. They do have some things in common. They love to ask Google, listen to friends who are as hopeless as them, and they think they know more than a university professor, but yet they do less than a blind man. Just ask them what can they do? They won't be able to answer you. My conclusion, instead of your hearts beating faster, why not that you just act faster just a bit? Instead of just thinking about it, why not do something about it? Poor people fail because on one common behavior. Their entire life is about waiting." Boom! Wisdom bomb dropped for you guys. I cannot, this hit home on so many different levels because this is exactly what I deal with on a day-to-day basis, okay? When I'm networking, partnering, and, doing stuff with people that are at my level, levels above me, just people with strong mindsets, it's crazy because we are all on the same wavelength. We all think the same. We all move the same. We all act the same. We are just on a different level, and that's why we are successful. It is never hard to understand why someone is successful and why someone else is unsuccessful, right? Unless the successful person won the lottery, it's really easy to tell. Their mindset is at just a different place, right? Rich people and wealthy people have wealthy mindsets. Poor people have broke mindsets, and that's why they fail. It's something that I preach a lot. And when I read this, I just read this right now. It's like late here in California. So I read this late. And I saw this and I was like, oh my goodness, this is so relatable. This is something that I got to make a YouTube video on right now. So I was like, screw everything. I'm going to drop everything. I'm going to make this YouTube video. I'm going to drop some value bomb on wisdom and growth mindset and what it takes to really be successful. So you have a guy that's worth $23 billion that's telling you this, okay? And this is really true. And I want to really break down this into pieces because I think it's the most important thing that you're going to understand. Some people here are going to get very, very defensive and they're going to say, oh, I don't know anything. Jack Ma doesn't know anything, etc. And again, that's that broke mindset. And if that's you, I'm sorry, but you're not going to get where you want to be in life until you change that mindset, okay? But if that hit home for you and you're hanging in there with me and you're like, man, that's some life-changing stuff. Like I'm starting to relate. I'm feeling something. When I hear that, I really want to change and I want to be financially free and I want to live life on my own terms and I want to be successful, then check out what I'm going to say next, okay? Because I'm going to break this down. I'm going to show you guys exactly. And I'm not just going to develop this problem and just toss you a problem. I'm going to give you the problem and then I'm going to break it down and I'm going to show you exactly what the solution is, because what Jack Ma says and what every other billionaire says, what I say, what any other successful person in the world will tell you is going to be the same thing. So check this part out, okay? So he says that the worst people to serve are poor people, because anytime you give them something that's an opportunity essentially, what do? They make excuses, right? That's what he's saying. He says give them free, they'll think it's a trap. Tell them it's a small investment, they'll say they can't earn much. Tell them to come in big and they'll say no money. Tell them to try new things, they'll say no experience. Literally anything you tell them, they're going to find a way to spit it back around, turn it into an excuse and deflect it back on you. It's not because you don't want to be successful that you're not doing this. You're not doing this because your head's not in the game. Your mindset is off. You don't want it bad enough. If you want it bad enough, you're not going to make excuses, okay? I have spent up to $5,000 to pick the brain of someone that's very intelligent just for an hour. I've spent $5,000 to consult with someone for an hour. And people ask me all the time, would you do it again? Heck yes, I would do it again, because in that 1 hour of time, yes, I gave up $5,000, but some of the stuff that I learned, I would never be able to learn otherwise. And it was only because I picked this person's brain. So for those of you guys out there, if you don't understand the value of investing in yourself and your own education and your own growth, you're never going to get out of this broke mentality. You're going to stay in this broke mindset for the rest of your life. And that's the sad but honest truth. I'm a realist. I keep things as real as possible, and I'm trying to be real with you, okay? I'm trying to get into your head and tell you that the mindset and the principles and the thought process that you have right now, if it's not getting you where you want to be in life, you got to take it, you got to dump it in the trash, and you got to move forward. You got to do something different, okay? So let's continue breaking down what Jack Ma had to say, right? So he talks about all the excuses that people make. And then he says they do have some things in common. They love to ask Google. They love to listen to their friends who are as hopeless as them. So let's just break that down, right? If you literally thought that you could be successful using just Google, then everyone else in the world would be doing it, right? The reason why being successful is so hard, because it takes more than just 5 hours of effort or just Googling something or doing these things. If you think that's what it takes to be successful, your entire mindset and your entire mentality is broken. That's not how the real world works, okay? You need to be doing things that nobody else is willing to do or doing out there, the rare uncommon things, and that's how you achieve success. Things like getting a mentor, joining a program, joining an academy, doing something to further your education and your learning. That's the type of stuff that's going to take you to the next level, not going on Google or watching the YouTube video that's got, 300,000 views. Yeah, there's value in watching YouTube videos and getting educated and all that stuff, but you need to take your mindset and growth to the next level. And he literally says they listen to friends who are just as hopeless as them. Think about that. Who you surround yourself with is who you become. Your network determines your net worth. That's super important. And as you guys can see, I get really, really passionate about this stuff because I know how important it is, okay? Anyone that knows me knows how big and broad and deep my mindset is. And if I didn't have this mindset, I wouldn't be here today. I'm telling you guys, with a broke mindset, you will stay broke. That's how it works. I'm not even trying to sell you something. I'm not trying to pitch you anything. I'm just trying to explain to you that if you want to be successful and you want it bad enough, because I know there's people out there that do, and I want to help you guys. And it's like you have to change the way that you think. I'm not just saying this. There's billionaires out there saying this, and any successful person, no matter what their profession, will tell you the same thing. So he goes from there to say they think they know more than a university professor, but yet they do less than a blind man. I am someone that's, learned a lot of things along the way, but I will never ever call myself an expert in anything, okay? I can always learn more, and that's why I consume and absorb knowledge every single day. There is no such thing as all-knowing, and if you believe that you're all-knowing or you know everything about a topic, you've got a broke mindset right there, because that means that you've given up. You think you've hit your ceiling, okay? My ceiling doesn't exist, because I never hit a ceiling, because I know there's more that I can do. There's more money I can make. There's more revenue I can generate. There's more customers I can get. There's more views I can get. There's more followers. There's always more that I can do. And for me to acquire more, to have this mentality of abundance, to have that abundance mentality, you can't put a ceiling on top of yourself, okay? You need to be a realist, and you need to understand that there's things that you can do constantly to be successful, right? And he goes on to say, Jack Ma does, he says, just ask them, what can they do? They won't be able to answer you, okay? And my conclusion is, instead of your heart beating faster, why not you just act a bit faster, okay? And instead of thinking about it, why not do something about it? And my biggest tip is that if you've got a dream, whatever it is, you want to be a musician, you want to be an artist, you want to be a rapper, you want to be a ball player, you want to start your own business, whatever it is, stop waiting on your dreams. Go out there and take action, guys. Like Jack Ma says, poor people fail because of one common behavior. Their whole life is about waiting. Stop waiting and start doing. Those who take action are the ones that succeed. My biggest tip that I tell everyone from my TEDx talk, for those of you guys who haven't seen my TEDx talk, you guys need to go watch my TEDx talk. Go to youtube.com, type in Jeep Banerjee TEDx, and if you haven't watched my TEDx talk, you're already falling behind. You need to watch it, because the value in that is just absolutely incredible. And it's got some life-changing lessons for people that are chasing a dream out there. But that's not what this video is about. But he says that poor people have the same common behavior. Their whole life is about waiting. Imagine if I was 17 years old and I said, oh, I'm just going to wait to be an entrepreneur. Let me wait 10 years and then do it. I wouldn't be where I am today. I wouldn't have the passion, the enjoyment, the purpose, and all the luxuries that I have from being an entrepreneur if I would have waited. Life is not about waiting. Tomorrow is never guaranteed. Do the most with today. That is my last message for you guys. Take action and do incredible things in life if you want to be successful. Stop waiting, because a magic bus is never going to come. Opportunities come and go all the time. Don't keep missing out on opportunities, because you never know which one's going to be the last one. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I know I don't do much on mindset and growth, but I think this is going to open up a lot of eyes. And for all of you guys out there, please make sure you guys turn on my post notifications so you guys see my latest videos, and click the video down below to subscribe. Thanks so much, guys. I'll catch you guys in the next video.